Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is another dose of your daily vitamins. Okay, so now let's get into it. Please be sure to hit the like button. Please like, share, subscribe. Also, don't forget to double check and make sure you're still subscribed to the Queen's channel, especially if you have not been receiving those notifications. Okay, let's just get right into it. This story is very sad and just really nefarious. Okay, now a worker died at an Amazon location, and the employees were simply told to just keep working as though nothing happened, as if they didn't see a whole dead body just lying there. Okay, so let's get into it. Amazon employee collapses and dies on warehouse floor. Others told to work around him. Now, can you imagine? Every last one of those people working there should be suing them for trauma, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, it just shows such a lack of care for the employees. And also, let us not forget a few years ago when there was a tornado and they would not let the people leave and they didn't care about them wanting to call in, like the tornado, the very severe weather that was ensuing was no excuse. Okay, as far as Amazon was concerned, I mean, this is further proof, in my opinion, that these corporations really don't care about their employees. It's always more about profit over safety. Okay, so they say a tragic incident at an Amazon warehouse in Oregon has sparked discussions about the working conditions at the company's facilities. Okay, please pay attention. They say an employee at the Amazon warehouse in Troutdale, Oregon, died on the job after collapsing on the second floor on Monday, April the 6th. Employees said that they were told to continue working during the incident as managers did not halt the operations. Okay, this is what the Eastern Edge reported. I mean, just think about that. No empathy or any sympathy at all. Now, one witness recalled the manager saying, "Just turn around and don't look. Let's get back to work." What kind of soulless devils are they? Okay, telling their employees to do such a thing. Now, while one woman ran over to the collapsed man to perform chest compressions, workers stood in disbelief. It was not until the paramedics arrived at the section of the warehouse that it was finally closed off. Workers at the Amazon warehouse have since called out management for their callous response, noting that moving packages along seemed more critical than an employee dying in front of everyone. Now, one employee stated that they've had difficulty sleeping since the incident. "I've had a lot of anxiety over walking back into that building." This is what they told the Western Edge. They say, unfortunately, the Troutdale warehouse is not the only Amazon site under scrutiny. Numerous allegations regarding employee safety and treatment have emerged from various warehouses and other locations globally. Okay, and this is all according to NBC News. So in 2022, during an inspection, the U.S. Department of Labor found that Amazon exposed workers to hazardous conditions in facilities in Colorado, Idaho, and New York. And this is all according to OSHA and their national news release. Now, despite community criticism, Amazon continues to construct massive warehouses with reportedly little to no protection for workers, exposing them to debilitating conditions like extreme heat and excessive noise. And you know that over a period of time, those loud noises can absolutely damage your hearing. Let's not forget about Foxy Brown, okay, how she suffered from hearing loss after being in those loud, the loud concerts and things like that, basically. So anyway, I find it also nefarious. Now they say that OSHA records indicate that the Troutdale warehouse specifically has received at least 2 complaints in the past 5 years about the heat in the building alone. Now, another Troutdale worker spoke about the manager's general unresponsiveness. Okay, the managers, none of them have a sense of urgency, apparently, when these employees are complaining and explaining or voicing their grievances. So one said, "It makes me feel more ashamed to work there knowing that people can drop dead and we have to carry on knowing it doesn't matter to the higher ups. Everyone is simply replaceable." It wasn't until the second break came, that we were finally allowed to stop work and go to the break room. That's just not right. Okay, My Voice section of the Amazon, this is what one employee said in the My Voice section of the Amazon employee app. Now, an Amazon spokesperson responded to questions from the Western Edge in an email. saying, "We're deeply saddened by the passing of a member of our team, and our thoughts and deepest sympathies are with their loved ones during this difficult time. We've been in touch with his family and have provided resources to support them." Now, this is what they issued in the statement, but I would like to know, how do they have an ounce of sympathy and empathy if they wanted the show to just keep going on? Okay. And then they're telling the family all of this, but did they also bother to tell the family how they told people to keep working and just don't look back? This is all so crazy. They say for employees at our PDX9 facility, we've provided on-site grief counselors and additional support. That's probably all cap, because how do you give them that after you told them to just not look back? So the company claims it shut down operations on April the 6th after EMS arrived on the scene, despite the numerous employees reporting experiences of having to continue to work. Okay, because remember, they said once the EMTs got there, or EMS, they basically just then allowed them or to seal off the area, because prior to that, the area was not even closed off. So just imagine if you were working somewhere near the person who died. How could you even function or think clearly? That was very dangerous, because someone else could have fainted, been crying so that they couldn't see straight. I mean, anything could have happened. People can't focus when they're traumatized. Okay. But anyway, let's continue. So they go on to say employees still received a message from management stating they are to report to work as usual the next day. Okay, Amazon has announced various claims of enhanced worker safety despite the onslaught of alarming employee experiences. Now, the company states that it has invested more than $2 billion in safety initiatives, such as the Ergo Pick, to ensure employees fit lift packages within their ergonomic power zone. But many employees have taken matters into their own hands, as unionization has proved to be a beneficial avenue for promoting safer workplaces. The Amazon Labor Union, first formed in 2022 at a fulfillment center in New York, has since campaigned for nationwide safety protocols, including a safety bill of rights that demands humane accommodations and a safe place to work and take rest breaks. So ultimately fostering a respectful, comfortable, and humane environment for employees and essential, or this is essential for ensuring their safety at work. It is also critical for highlighting their values as not just employees, but human beings worthy of respect. So, like I said, this is all very sad. How could you do this to anyone? How could you just not even care that this man who worked for you, that was your employee, just literally sat there and passed away, probably overexhausted and everything? It could have been too hot in there, who knows? But the bottom line is they didn't really care at all about him or the other employees. And I really think that these people need to sue them. Okay, that's just me. There's no way you would have me sitting there traumatized and trying to make me continue to work under such extreme conditions. I find it all so interesting. So anyway, here's another thing. We've had a lot of these warehouse fires lately, and it's all because these people are very upset. It is all because these people realize that these big corporations don't care about them. They're underpaid and overworked. Some of their jobs are being replaced by AI and all of these things, and people are very angry. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some sort of nefarious uprising or something where people just lose it. Okay? And they say everyone is replaceable. That's what many of the employees said. The death rattles Oregon Amazon facility. Now they say Sam was helping unload trucks when a heavy thud against concrete echoed across the warehouse. And I guess this must be one of the employees' accounts. Okay, so let's talk about it. So Sam was helping unload trucks when a heavy thud against concrete echoed across the Amazon warehouse. An employee's lifeless body lay on the floor. Just think if this was your relative, someone you knew and loved. Now, work halted in the loading docks on the south side of Amazon's distribution center in Troutdale, Oregon. Sam and other employees stared at the person who'd collapsed just 20 feet away. Conveyor belts of packages continue to roll. Someone says, I didn't have a direct line of sight of the person's face, but I saw a body form laying lifeless. And this is what one of the employees told the Western Edge. They say employees who spoke for the story requested anonymity to protect their jobs, and their names have been changed. Okay, so they say hours before a group of trainees on their second day at Amazon sat in a break room scrolling scrolling Kindles loaded with training materials about what is required of Amazon workers in order to expeditiously shuttle goods to people's homes across the Portland metro area. Now, they learned how to safely lift packages while meeting the blistering pace the giant retailer expected. There were no training videos for what to do. However, when a coworker dies right in front of your eyes. Mm, mm, mm. So the man who collapsed on the floor died Monday, April the 6th, on the second level of the Amazon warehouse as machinery filled the cavernous loading dock with a dull hum. In 911 calls obtained through public records request, one employee called for an ambulance at 1:55 p.m. The dispatcher coached a confused employee over a speakerphone on how to use a defibrillator. Meanwhile, during a second call, another employee described a horrific scene. We have an associate here who I believe is probably dead. This person does have extensive blood coming from his head. They are looking very blue. Can you imagine? I wonder how he died. Must have hit his head on something, I would think. For more than an hour, several employees said workers in the facility were instructed to continue fetching totes, picking items off shelves, and loading them onto trucks for delivery as the man lay there dead. And management figured out their next steps. Okay, next, news of the fatality quickly spread through the building, but workers say top managers did not call operations to an immediate halt. A week later, several workers said they still do not know what caused the man to die. Amazon said in a statement Tuesday that the man died from a pre-existing medical condition. Records indicate he was 46 years old. Here's how you know they're lying. Something about that is not adding up. The math's not mathing. How did he die from a pre-existing condition, but he had blood pouring from his head? Okay, please make it all make sense. Sounds to me like they're trying to avoid a wrongful death lawsuit possibly coming from this person's family, in which I hope it does. Now, just turn around and not look. Don't look back. Let's get back to work. This is what Sam recalled the manager saying. Now, within moments of the man hitting the floor, Sam said a woman ran over and began performing chest compressions. The woman began to cry and screamed out for help, for someone to please help her. As Sam, who had CPR training, asked her supervisor if she could assist. The supervisor watched the woman heaving her chest into the man's chest and gave no response. I started sobbing and said, I want to help, please. I know she's going to get tired and need to be subbed out. The supervisor, who Sam perceived to be in shock, had a simple reply. It has to be management or safety team. Please get back to work. Let me tell you something, honey. Wild horses couldn't have helped me, or couldn't have kept me from helping this person. Okay, they sound crazy. Wild horses couldn't have stopped me from helping this person. Okay, I am CPR trained. And at the end of the day, I don't have to ask permission to try to save someone's life. This is all so sad and egregious, but here's the thing: these people are so afraid of losing their jobs, and the economy's already bad. And I guess they just did what they felt they had to do: get back to work. Isn't that something? And then Sam said, "I need to help." The manager then says, "Just turn around and don't look back. Let's get back to work." It's so heartless. I mean, it's just the fact that they didn't have any empathy nor sympathy. Now, as Sam stood there in belief, watching the woman give chest compressions, the supervisor softly nudged Sam, tears in the manager's eyes at this point. Please, the supervisor said, encouraging Sam to keep sorting packages. Eventually, paramedics showed up, and the section of the warehouse where the man lay was closed off. The death, reported for the first time by the Western Edge, has left employees at the facility in shock and concerned about their own safety, and as they should be. And those employees who were there for orientation or whatever on their first day, and who were looking at the training videos or whatever, or on Kindle, they should have just got up and quit. Okay, I would want no parts of it, especially seeing something like this and they don't even care. Anyway, several workers said they found their boss's response so callous, and they seemed more concerned with keeping packages moving with an employee, or then an employee died in front of them, just like I said previously. And Sam says, I've struggled to sleep and has been having anxiety, and who wouldn't? Okay, and who wouldn't after this? This is very sad and distressing, absolutely heartbreaking, and so nefarious. Okay, so anyway, with that all being said, drop me a comment and let me know what you all think about this. And would you, if you were employed at Amazon, or if you even currently are, what do you think about this? And if you had seen something like this, would you not be trying to sue for mental distress? Okay, I would want punitive damages. I would need something to, to help me get over the trauma. I would have to seek therapy and all of that. And I'm sure some of these people actually will. So they absolutely should be suing, in my opinion. Okay, so with that all being said, I love you all to life. I hope you enjoy the rest of this day, and I will talk to you all again soon. Peace.